hell of a thing. So Tamera Mowry's husband goes on a rant about food stamps. And let's put it up full mass here. Put up the picture full mass. Former Fox News correspondent Adam Housley, that's the hubby, is being dragged through the social ringer for his comments about how low-income families utilize welfare benefits. The veteran journalist was also the husband of, one of the most famous twins in America. Found himself embroiled in a heated discourse with ex-users about abuse of food stamps, a food assistance program. This was in February 19th to be exact. However, Housley in past statements has claimed that he did not vote for Trump or Hillary back in 2016 and left Fox News over how the network covered Trump. He's also publicly been critical of Trump in the past. But despite that, he seemingly co-signed a report that U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and other Donald Trump officials will be pursuing amendments to the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that will ban the purchase of less nutritious and processed food items with the government funds. So he posted, as a kid who grew up in neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I can't tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids for food stamps, then open the wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. Then there were those who would repeatedly buy a lemon or lime, get the change, walk out the door, throw them away, and do it again until they had enough change to buy cigarettes or alcohol. As a kid, it pissed me off because there are some people who could really use the help. And then there are these others working the system. He also claimed, my parents used every dime they had to open a small neighborhood grocery store. My brother and I basically lived in the back room. And as a family, we worked our butts off. I got baseball cards as I paid for picking up cigarette butts in the Planters, LOL. Worked those stores until I left for TV. Brother still run both of them. So here's how folks on TikTok reacted to his food stamp rant. Here it is.
At 5 years old, no, sir. No. No. You lying, and you know you lying.
Oh, Tamera, you're never beating those allegations. It's never happened, sir. What kid you know is gonna say, oh my God, junk food? Only rich kids do that.
Tamera's husband, that dude is lying. Because he grew up in Napa Valley. Ain't no poor people in Napa Valley. That's not only one of the wealthiest places in the world, that's one of the most popular tourist places in the world. So he told this story to fit a racist narrative, to fit a stereotype. And even if this story is true, so low-income kids, they don't deserve to eat junk food or snack, nothing but healthy food. Last time I checked, there's no Whole Foods in low-income areas.
From what we've seen over the past few years, there's a twin that identifies with one side more, and there's a twin that identifies with the other side more. And I think we've heard over the years that the twin that identifies with one side more and her husband and some of their viewpoints do create distance between Tia and Tamera.
After reading what Tamaga's husband had to say about food stamps, I understand why Tia responded with, oh, when Tamaga said she was called a...
Let's put their pictures back up here again. Sir, you see what you're taking your wife through, sir. Okay? We don't believe you. You need more people. Also, those are tall tales and long lies that you put out there. Okay, easily verifiable. Some responders argued his knowledge of SNAP was outdated as benefactors cannot receive cash back with purchases. Yeah, exactly. More tense comments came from those who called him a habitual liar and questioned why he felt entitled to comment on the economic struggles of others when he grew up in wine country. Quote, I thought you grew up in a vineyard, read one such response. Housley, along with his wife, his parents, brothers, sister-in-law, are founders and co-owners of the Housley Napa Valley Winery. On the establishment's website, it states the Emmy winner grew up with a vineyard in his front yard, end quote. In his defense, Housley explained that he worked the register at the grocer his parents used every dime to open, and that it remains in his family to this day. The context further fueled backlash. A fiery clap back to the tweet read, quote, you can't relate one bit. Your parents owned a grocery store. You grew up in a vineyard. You grew up privileged, point blank. Just another privileged guy speaking on anything. And a third person claimed he was pretending you grew up poor, just to make a political point, when all evidence points to the contrary. Is so effing demeaning. You're perfect for modern politics. So Mowry also found herself thrust into the discourse with someone commenting, I usually am against judging a woman off of what her man does, but Tamera is right at the top of my judgment list. A second person proclaimed, TM is MAGA, ASF, laughing my off. A third user mentioned the rumored rift between the real co-host and her twin, Tia. No wonder why Tia distanced herself from her sister, looked like her husband, read the remark. The couple has been married for 13 years and are parents of 2 children. So last year, the Game Star revealed she and Tamera were no longer as close as they once were in the aftermath of her divorce. The actress later clarified that their relationship was solid, but that the distance between them was literal, as Tamera splits her time between Los Angeles and Napa. All right, Francesca, thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think social media roasted this one, so they got it. I mean, they really did it. But I just want to say that I think I'm so glad that we live in a time where people can speak back against these old, tired tropes about people who are on food stamps or SNAP being unhealthy and like wasting the government's money. And of course, it's all racialized. We understand that the majority of beneficiaries are white people, and they're having their benefits cut right now under Trump. But of course, it's black people who somehow get blamed for leeching off the system. This is old Reagan, seeing a woman on welfare in a Cadillac or whatever he said what was the issue. And the other thing is this, SNAP benefits are measly. They are so small. And there are already limitations on what you can purchase with them, number one. But number two, during the American Rescue Plan, when in response to COVID, the Biden administration was like, I'm going to increase these benefits by 15%. You heard reports of people who were like, finally, I can buy vegetables with SNAP benefits. Why? Because vegetables are far more expensive. Obviously, don't get me started on food deserts where people can buy, as that one gentleman said, there's no Whole Foods, in poor neighborhoods. So people were able to buy more healthy food, but instead we rescinded those benefits. We're rescinding even more benefits, and we love blaming poor people, and we love coalescing what I would call honestly fat phobia, racism, and anti-poor bigotry all into one big sort of blame the victim ideology. And it's so sick. And Doc, as we have RFK Jr. as head of HHS, we're going to see so much more of this. I just did battle on Piers Morgan about the same thing. Why are people eating so unhealthy? Because cheap carbs are cheap, literally. And if you're rescinding everyone's food benefits, what do you think people are going to turn to? So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy over here.
Yeah, it truly is. And the individuals who make complaint, they don't care about money or spending. If they did, they'll care about how the Department of Defense spends 80% on non-defense related items and how killing people and blowing things up is always acceptable in the budget. Those things would be a concern for those who are truly concerned about how the tax dollar is spent.